So real quick, we are going to be guessing the Cleveland Browns record for next season. This is me predicting it. I'm hoping I could do this. Actually, no, I can't do this with all teams. That wouldn't make sense for me to do it with all the teams. But yeah. So we're gonna do this with Cleveland, and I don't know their schedule in depth. I know that they only play the Ravens, Steelers, and the Bengals because that's their division rival. But let's get into it. Starting off the season, they'll host Pittsburgh, and they will lose to Pittsburgh. And then week 2, this will turn things around. No Joe Flacco for the Ravens. The Browns will beat the Ravens in Baltimore, so now they're at 1-1. The Colts, they'll lose to the Colts 1-2. They'll host the Bengals. They'll beat the Bengals 2-2. They'll beat the Jets 3-2. Texans, they'll lose 3-3. They're 3-3. They'll host the Titans. They will lose that one. They're 3-4. They'll host the Vikings 3-5. They'll go to Detroit. Yeah, they'll go to Detroit. 3-6. They'll lose to Detroit. They'll host Jacksonville. They'll win that one. They're 4-6 now. Then they'll be hosted by the Bengals. They're 4-7 right now. Then they'll be hosted by the Chargers, which they beat the Chargers last season. So yeah, they'll be 5-7 now. They'll host the Packers. They'll lose to that one. They're 5-8. Host the Ravens. They'll beat the Ravens both times, I believe. So now they're 6-8. Yeah, they're 6-8. Then they'll go to Chicago. They'll win that one. They're 7-8. And then the Steelers will host them at Pittsburgh for the final game of the season, and they will be 8-8. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. They'll be 8-8 this year. Especially, well, let's put this into consideration. That's if DeShone Kizer starts, the rookie quarterback. That's if he starts. But if Brock Osweiler starts, I see them losing to Baltimore. Not in week 2 because that's when Joe Flacco will be back by the time they meet Baltimore the second time. They'll lose to Baltimore, so that means they're 7-8. They'll lose to the Bengals at Cincinnati, which means they're 6-8. They'll lose to the Lions, which means they're 5-8. And they'll lose to the Texans, which means they'll be 4-12. My bad. They'll be 4-12 if Brock Osweiler starts, but if Sean Kizer starts, they'll be 8-8. Maybe secure a wild card spot. I don't know. I just felt the need to do this because everyone's thinking this is the year Cleveland's gonna, make a return to the ranks as an elite NFL team. They won't be elite. It'll take time for the rookies to settle in. They won't be elite, but I think the rookies will be enough to get Cleveland off their feet. But if Brock Osweiler starts, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good.